Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. So today I would like to talk about a big myth that just won't die, and that is that you need to do fat burning exercises to lose weight, and it's just not true. Right, so as I've explained in many of my videos now, there is only one way to lose weight, and that is to be in a calorie deficit. And that means to basically be consuming fewer calories than your body needs. And there's two ways to do that. That's either increase the amount of calories your body needs or reduce the amount of food that you are eating. Your weight loss is not defined by the fuel that you're using. So let me just explain that a little bit more. So your body has two main fuel sources. There is fat and there is glycogen. Glycogen is the carbohydrates that's stored in your muscle and liver. Now, fat we burn at lower intensities. So things like sitting, walking and running at low speeds, your body is more likely to use fat because it takes longer to break down. So it can't use it at higher intensities, which might be running higher speeds, doing higher intensity exercise. So these things we use the carbohydrates in our muscles. So basically it's our bodies that decide which fuel to use depending on the activity and the intensity of the activity that you're doing. So at the moment I'm walking, so my body is more likely to be using fat than carbs at the moment because walking is a low intensity activity and it just gives it more time to be able to break down the fat. I don't need the carbs because a carb source of energy is for high intensity things. So rather than thinking about the fuel source, fat or carbs, think about the amount of energy you're burning, because as I said, it's about being in a calorie deficit, and a calorie deficit is all about how much energy you are consuming and expending. So like I said before, there are two ways to increase your energy, or there's two ways to create a calorie deficit: reduce the food or increase your energy output. So if I was needing 2,000 calories per day and increase that to 2,500, then I would be in a calorie deficit because I would have that gap between the amount that I'm consuming and the amount that I actually need. And my body needs to fulfill that somehow. If I'm not consuming the food, then it has to come from body fat. So the way I like to explain it is using a car. So if you imagine a car and its fuel tank, let's say that we have to fill the fuel tank of the car right to the top. If it's not right to the top, then the energy has to come from somewhere. If it's not right to the top, let's say that there's no other energy, so the car has to start combusting itself, so using its own parts. So bits of the metal, bits of the interior have to start going into the fuel tank to be used as fuel. And this basically is what happens with your body. When you don't fill your necessary calories over the day into your fuel tank, your body needs to fill it somehow. So what it does, it starts using itself. And the bits of itself that it uses is the fat. And so that's how we lose weight. We don't give ourselves the energy we need. We eat under the amount of energy we need per day. So it's not about whether you're doing the fat burning exercise, because it doesn't matter whether the energy is coming from fat or the carbs, because if you are not consuming enough over the day, then ultimately your body will have to take it from fat at some point, because you're not filling to that line that you need in your fuel tank. So I hope that's starting to make a bit more sense about the fact that you don't need to do fat burning exercises. The point I want to make in this video is the exercise you should do should be just concentrating on burning energy to create that calorie deficit, so to create a greater energy need. And a lot of people do exercises they don't like because they think they need to burn fat. They think they need to do really, really high intensity things, but it's not true. So instead of thinking about doing specific fat burning exercises which you might not like, just try and get as much activity into your day as possible. Like now I'm going for a walk. This is increasing my energy demand. It will mean I need to eat more calories. I'm not trying to lose weight, but it's a form of burning energy. And I enjoy walking, it's easy. Although I'm slightly out of breath and walking up a hill and trying to hold this out for a long period of time. But yeah, a lot of people will not do stuff they like because they think they need to do specific things that they've been told burns more fat. And it's completely unnecessary and true. And actually reduces their motivation and reduces the adherence and longevity of them doing that exercise. Because at the end of the day, when they might think they have to go to the gym and run on a treadmill or something, they don't do it because they don't want to do it. So my advice to get as much energy burn as possible, to burn as many calories as possible over the day, would be just to increase the amount of walking you do in every situation you can. Because walking is the easiest form of exercise. It doesn't burn as many calories as running, only because it's lower intensity. So although I am probably burning more fat, less energy is coming from the fat than if I was running and using carbs. More energy would be used from the carbs because it requires more energy per second of movement because it's a more intense exercise. But if we think about it in terms of distance, if I walk a mile or a kilometre or run it, I will roughly need the same amount of energy. But the thing that changes is the time. So I will use that energy over a shorter amount of time with walking and with running, and a longer with walking. But the advantages of walking is it's easier, less sweaty, you don't need necessary trainers on, or you don't have to have a shower after, whereas running is the opposite. You have to wear trainers, you often get sweaty and have to have a shower and plan for it. So to end this video, I just want to make that point. You don't need to do fat burning exercises to lose weight, you just need to be in a calorie deficit. How you create that is either consume fewer calories or increase your output of energy, or a bit of both. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Like, share and comment as always, and I will see you in the next one.